Hey guys, what's up? Just Gaming here, and E3 2017 is finally over, so I decided to do my top 10 favorite reveals from the entire conference. So basically, over the last couple of days, we've gotten a lot of conferences, a lot of new games announced, and a lot of gameplay shown for games that had already been announced. So what I wanted to do is, now that it's finally over, is go over my 10 favorite reveals from E3 as a whole, and just kind of talk about them and why I'm excited for them in the future. So first I want to start out with Skull and Bones, which is Ubisoft's new IP that they showed off at their conference, and for Skull and Bones we got some gameplay, and it is a new IP that they announced, and this is obviously a response to the positive reception of Assassin's Creed 4, which is a lot of people's favorite AC game, including mine. I love that game, but the naval combat is pretty much just from AC4, except it looks really refined and a lot of fun. However, I don't really know if it'll be enough for me to personally justify a $60 purchase for a full title game. I just don't really know if there's enough there that they've shown so far. All they've really shown is the 5v5 multiplayer, which I do think is a cool aspect that was lacking in Assassin's Creed 4 that is probably going to be really fun. But I just don't know. I want to see more from the game. And it does kind of disappoint me that boarding and taking over other ships is kind of just a cutscene now. I did love that in AC4 when you had to you could board and choose when you boarded, and you pretty much just had a lot of control over who you killed first and pretty much everything you did in the boarding process. But it is just a cutscene, so that kind of sucks, but visually it looks fantastic. I really want to see more from this game, and I do hope for more customization options when it comes to the ships and your crew you have on there. It does look really cool. Something else in the game that I thought was interesting is that the game world's reactive, so the different factions of ships you take down and how you do it all kind of is reactive towards each other, and kind of shapes how the world kind of reacts with you, and pretty much just how you do everything. So I think that's a cool aspect. They did announce there's a beta that's going to be coming out that you can sign up for, so I will probably going to be trying to get into that, and I do want to play it. I just don't know if it'll be enough to personally justify for me a full $60 game, but I do want to see more, and maybe my mind can be changed. And this does come out in fall of 2018, so we do have a while before this comes out, and I can't wait to see more. The next game is Assassin's Creed Origins, which, like every other Assassin's Creed game in the last 5 years, was of course leaked, and we got a whole bunch of information about the assassin, about the game itself, release dates, all that kind of stuff before the reveal trailer even came out. But sure enough, during Microsoft's conference last week, we got the first official reveal trailer for Assassin's Creed Origins, including a cool cinematic trailer, which I was really disappointed we didn't get a traditional cinematic trailer like we always do. I believe this is the first game since a really long time. I think this may be the first one ever, though we haven't got a traditional CG looking cinematic trailer, so that really disappointed me. And even when they didn't show it at Microsoft's, I thought, hey, maybe they'll show it at Ubisoft's, and they just never did, so that really disappointed me. But either way, we got a cool kind of just game official trailer, and then we got a brief walkthrough that showed some aspects which I'll get into in a second. But we do have a lot of gameplay for this game because it is coming out on October 27th of this year, so we really don't have long to wait. And I really had high hopes for this game because obviously they took a year off after the poor reception of kind of Unity and then Rogue and Syndicate, which I heard was okay, but I still haven't played it. And just basically they just had to take some time off, get their stuff together, and just kind of make an Assassin's Creed game that was really good again. So some aspects of the gameplay that I did think were cool. We're taking control of the Eagle. I think it's really cool being able to scout out your enemies. I do think that's a cool aspect. I'm excited for that. Sailing is back, but on smaller ships, so it's not like AC3 and AC4 naval combat. Now you just have small ships that you can sail on to get from point A to point B in ancient Egypt, so that is cool. The combat is very different and probably the biggest change from the series. It's more tactical, kind of like Dark Souls. I know some people really aren't into it, but I do think it's cool. I do think the combat system kind of needed to be innovated a little bit. I just hope it's not changed too much from traditional Assassin's Creed, but I am excited to try it out and see what differences it has from the previous Assassin's Creed games. Riding horses is also back, which I think was cool. I recently played AC3 for the first time and beat it after it was a free games with gold, and I loved horseback riding in that. It was really fun. I love that the bow and arrow is back, also from AC3, and something that I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet is an RPG system with kind of different rarity items. I do think it's kind of a cool aspect and another cool thing that they're innovating, and I really want to see more from this system and just kind of how it'll play into the enemies you fight and if they'll have different levels. And I do hope it just doesn't change it too much, but from what I've seen so far, I do like it. I hope there's enough stuff to climb because obviously in ancient Egypt there wasn't too much stuff in Assassin's Creed game that you'd be able to climb. They did show him climbing up a pyramid and crawling down it and sliding down it. So I do think that's cool. I do like the new assassin. It's not my favorite Assassin's Creed assassin so far just by his outfit. Obviously, I wasn't expecting much from like ancient Egypt, but I do think he looks fine. He looks good enough. We did get confirmation there's not going to be any actual in-game multiplayer features where you'll be able to like fight against each other, so that really disappoints me because even though Unity was a buggy mess, I still really love Unity. I remember watching that trailer for the first time being insanely excited, and when multiplayer did work in that game, it was a lot of fun playing with me and my friends, so I wish that they could try it again, maybe with like a spin-off game or something. I do want them to try it again, so I'm okay with no multiplayer, that's fine. And I do think the gladiator arena looks cool, where you'll have like mini boss fights. I do think that's cool. So I do think there's kind of enough that they've innovated with and changed in the 2 years they've taken to make this game that hopefully will make Assassin's Creed really cool again. And I do want to see more from this game, and there's a good chance I'll probably be picking this up in October. But this is one I really want to hear people's opinions on, so tell me what you think about Assassin's Creed Origins and if you think it'll be a really cool game. The next reveal from E3 is the really cool announcement that we got during the Microsoft conference that backwards compatibility was going to be coming for original Xbox games. When they announced this, I was kind of confused what they were going to say when they said they had a big announcement concerning backwards compatibility. Part of me kind of wondered that if they would make all 360 games backwards compatible, but when they announced that it would be for original Xbox games, I got really excited because even though I haven't really ever had an original Xbox, I do have original Xbox games. I have all the Halo games that are on there. I've just got a couple of really old ones that I think would be really cool to try out. I know the original Spiderman game that's on Xbox, I'd love to try that out, and I just think it's really cool. So yeah, like I said, the original Spider-Man game is something I definitely want to play, and hopefully it's well optimized, and I don't have any doubt it will be because for the most part the 360 games have been, and this does come out in fall of this year. So I am really excited about this. I can't wait to play some original Xbox games on the new Xbox One. The next game we got a trailer for that I was really excited about is Detroit Become Human. During the PS4 conference, we got a pretty long gameplay trailer for this game, and this is a game that I saw for the first time last year and I was really excited about, and I wanted to see more from it this year. But we did get a new gameplay trailer, and it just is more of the same. At this point, there's not too much more I really need to see to be convinced. I want to play it, I want to buy it. The new playable character we see, he does look cool. This one has more of a focus on the android revolution instead of kind of the detective gameplay that we saw in the first trailer, but I do think it's cool that they have all these different characters that you'll be able to play as, and apparently their stories will kind of like interact with each other and intertwine, so I can't wait to see that. But I'm still into the whole idea they have of making your own decisions and seeing where the story goes, and unfortunately I don't believe there is a release date for this currently. That really disappoints me because I was hoping they would like just surprise us and show like November 2017 or October 2017. So I do want to see more from this game. I'm really excited about it. There's not much more I need to see really. I'm convinced. I want to buy it. I want to play it. So just make it available, and I can't wait to see more from this game when it officially releases. The next game is Far Cry 5. Now, Far Cry 4 I love, Far Cry Primal I didn't play, but I was really excited about the American setting of Far Cry 5, and really I don't have too much to say about this, but I do like the setting. Visually, I think it looks great. The gunplay is very similar to Far Cry, which I saw some people complaining about, but I think it's fine because just the core gameplay of Far Cry 4 I really loved. And I didn't know that Far Cry 4 kind of wasn't loved by a lot of people, but I love that game. It was one of the first Xbox One games I played, and it's just really fun. I like the feature of hiring different people with different weapons, vehicles, and abilities, like having the guy that was in the plane, or having the dog that can come bring you weapons. Just a lot of really cool stuff like that. It just overall is really Far Cry. It looks really fun, and I do want to see just maybe some more gameplay trailers, just seeing some more stuff they've added in. But really, I know what I'm getting into. I do believe that the co-op open world gameplay is back. I don't know for a fact, but if it is, and I assume it is, then I'm really excited to play that again, and I can't wait to play this with my friends when it comes out on February 27th of next year. Overall, just really excited, and I do love the direction they're taking Far Cry. The next game is Crackdown 3. Now, it was great to finally see something from Crackdown after not really seeing anything since Gamescom 2015, where we saw the big destructibility demo and how much that was going to factor into gameplay, but it was great to finally see it after years of nothing. The gameplay looks extremely fun, very Crackdown. I love the first Crackdown game, it's really fun, and I do think the new gameplay is kind of paying homage to it and just looking really good. The abilities and weapons look really cool. I love that the orbs are back. I wish we would have seen a little bit more destructibility in the gameplay trailer, and I was kind of disappointed that that's all they had was that brief trailer. Even though that trailer was awesome, I was kind of disappointed, but they are showing gameplay all of this week for E3. And all it's over by the time I'm filming this, but this week they did show more. It looks cool, and I can't wait to play it because it comes out later this year on November 7th. I'm really excited, and like I said, I just want to see more of the destructibility and multiplayer aspects, but I assume that's what they're still working on. What we saw was campaign footage, so either way, I'm sure we'll see more Gamescom, and probably a big demo like they did 2 years ago. Apparently there's also like a cool gang reaction system of like which gangs you kill and the others react to it. Just that kind of stuff's really cool, and I can't wait to see more from this game, and I will definitely be picking it up when it comes out in November. The next game that I really wasn't expecting is Life is Strange Beyond the Storm. Now, I played Life is Strange for the first time only a couple months ago after hearing about it, and it's pretty much, in case you haven't played it, like a Telltale game, which I'm sure you've heard of, but basically it's kind of like an interactive movie that you play through. You make your own decisions, they impact the story, and it's really cool. I love the Life is Strange story, it was really cool, I love the art style it had, and that distinct art style is what immediately when the trailer started, I was like, that's Life is Strange, because the art style they have for that game is so iconic, and I love it. And the really interesting choices are in it. I can't wait to see more from that. This is a prequel that's going to take place before the Life is Strange main game. And they are also making a Life is Strange sequel, which is made by the actual developers of the first game. This is by a different developer, but it's still cool. It's got an intriguing story with cool characters, and I do think it's cool we get a prequel featuring Chloe. There's also kind of cool DLC, like a bonus episode where you get to play as Max again. There's like a mixtape mode, so I do think they're cool that they're putting in some extra stuff. The first episode comes out on August 31st of this year, and apparently will come out like every couple months after that, so we won't have to wait too long. And then probably in a couple years, or maybe even next year, we'll get the reveal of the sequel series, and I can't wait to see more from that. And I just am really excited about this. I love the Life is Strange universe and the story, and I really want to play this, and I will definitely be playing this when it comes out in August. The next announcement that I pretty much never would have expected to be revealed was Beyond Good and Evil 2. Now, Beyond Good and Evil, I played the first game, I really didn't get that far into it, but I did know that a lot of people wanted a second game. It's kind of a cult classic that a lot of people really love, and I liked how creative it was, but I just really didn't get into it. But I know this is something fans have really wanted, and no one really expected, even though apparently they did confirm it like a couple years ago, but I didn't even know what the trailer was until the very end when the title screen popped up, and I actually just couldn't believe Ubisoft was making a sequel. The cinematic trailer they revealed looked really good. Obviously that's all just cinematic, so not revealing of gameplay or anything like that, but I do really want to see gameplay. Like, I just really don't know what to expect from it, like what a modern take on that would be now in 2017. I love the art style, I love the whole aspect of the talking animals, and I do really want to see more from this game. Right now we pretty much know nothing besides the release trailer and announcement trailer we got at E3, which that was it, but that was enough for me, and I was really happy that Ubisoft decided to just go for it, make the sequel, and I really want to see gameplay especially, and more from this game, whenever it decides to release or we even get more information about it. The next announcement was that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds would be coming to Xbox One X and Xbox One later this year. So this is a timed exclusive deal. It's also going to be coming to PS4 later, but it will launch with the Xbox One X in November, I believe it's when it's coming out. And this is a game that I've wanted to play. I just don't really have a PC that can run it, but it looks really fun. And like I said, it is a timed exclusive, so it does kind of suck that it's not a true exclusive, but either way, it looks really fun. I've wanted to play it for a while, and I'm just really curious to see what it'll be play like on Xbox One, and I'll probably be getting it whenever it comes out with the launch of the Xbox One X. The last game I want to talk about that we finally got revealed for at E3 is Spiderman PS4. Now, I've been waiting for this game for a year. On Monday, all I could think about the entire day was finally getting gameplay of what probably my most anticipated game of all time, even more than probably the main Halo games, which are my favorite games of all time. But after a year of waiting, we finally got to see some gameplay, and it looks amazing. So graphically, it looks great, and the suit is amazing. I've loved the suit since last year. I loved the white spider giant logo on it. It looks really cool. The stealth combat is very similar to the Arkham games, which isn't a problem. That's where they should take their inspiration from. The web rush from the Amazing games is back, which is a cool feature from that game. I think that's good they chose to take that from those games that were pretty average as a whole, but they had some cool things. There are also cool gadgets that you can probably upgrade, like the web kind of tripwire that he had that webbed the guy. I thought that was really cool. The main combat also looks really good. I just can't wait to play it and see what it feels like. All the finishing animations of after he takes down an enemy are just really slick, they're polished, they're well done, and it just looks really good. I also thought it was cool that there was kind of a mini boss fight that looks fun, and it looks really cool, and I just can't wait to see how the variety of boss fights differs from each other, and just how they look as a whole. Wall running is back, and it's really fast, which I thought was cool. I remember playing Spider-Man 3 when I was 8, right after the movie came out, and just playing wall running in that game, it was really cool. And the main negative thing I've seen from this gameplay so far is kind of the QTEs in it, which are the quick time events, because they don't really bother me though, because of just how good they look, and as long as they're not overused, then I think there won't really be a problem. I do hope that like too many, like every kind of main story mission, I hope that everyone doesn't just have quick time events, because that'll kind of disappoint me, but they just look really good, and I just hope they're not overused. But from what we saw in the gameplay demo, I felt they were used fine, and I like this whole kind of big scale interactive movie experience they're going for. Web swinging is physics based, and the webs actually connect to buildings now, which is cool, which I know it may just kind of look better if they just come out of the sky, but as in terms of like how it would actually be, I just think it's so much cooler if they're physics based, and just makes you like more immersed. I think it just feels really cool. I love how you can connect while running, while swinging, and it just looks really good. Web swinging does look a little slow, but I was thinking they may have just slowed it down for the demo, and by the time of release, I'm sure it'll be great. Maybe you'll be able to upgrade your web slinging speed. Maybe there'll be like an upgrade system, because I can't imagine them just having gadgets, but you can't really upgrade them. I assume it'll be really similar to the Arkham games in that sense, but we do get a tease of Miles Morales at the end, which I was really excited for. He's probably my favorite comic book character of all time, if not just for the normal Spider-Man. And we did get final confirmation that Mr. Negative is the villain. And overall, the game just looks amazing, and probably the best Spider-Man game ever made, maybe better than Spider-Man 2. It probably will be. And unfortunately, we have to wait until 2018. I was really hoping that at the end it would just pop up and say 2017, like October or December. Or I did think there would be a good chance that it released this year because of the new TV show that's coming out and Spider-Man Homecoming's in a couple months. So I am really excited about this game. After waiting a year for this game, I got my hype levels really excited, and I was not disappointed. We got, actually, I was not surprised that they saved it for the end, and I was kind of surprised though about like how long it was. We got around 8 minutes of gameplay, and what'll be really cool is if they take it to Gamescom next month and we see more from that. But if not, I'm sure we'll finally see like a full-on announced trailer, release kind of launch trailer next year at E3, and if not, anything before then. So Spider-Man PS4 as a whole, I really can't wait for, and I think it looks amazing. So as a whole, E3 this year I thought was really solid. Sony I actually didn't think had the best conference. Microsoft's was really solid. They had 44 games I think they showed off is what they said. 22 of those were exclusives. And they just had a nice variety of games. They didn't spend too long on the specs of the Xbox One X, which I thought was good because no one really wants to hear that. Even though it is an impressive console, it is $500. I'll think about getting it. Ubisoft, I also thought had a really solid conference this year, better than I think most people expected. So that was really cool. They had some cool variety of games. And then Bethesda and EA as a whole were like, I don't really know. And then Sony I thought was pretty good. I just didn't think they were as good as they were like last year or year before. But either way, all the conferences I thought were really cool. I'm really excited to see what we see from next year from these games, and pretty much I just really want to see the games that were revealed with release dates this year. I will probably be talking about them. Crackdown 3, I'll probably talk about it again at some point, but I'm just really excited. Spider-Man PS4, I'll definitely be talking about more whenever we get information from that. So tell me what you guys' favorite game announced from E3 was, or just your favorite trailer, your favorite reveal, anything from E3. Just what was your favorite thing, and what are you most excited to see gameplay-wise from these games in the future. So thank you guys for watching. Majestic Gaming.